everyone, every day with your host, Debra Gould. Yes, I am Debra Washington Gould, President and CEO of Debra Gould and Associates, Inc. DGAI is a New Orleans-based management consulting and performance management business founded in 1996. Please check me out at my website, www.gouldassociates.com, to learn more about my professional service offerings in management consulting, executive coaching, training, and facilitating. www.gouldassociates.com. Right now, I am so excited. This is a friend. This is a successful entrepreneur in our New Orleans business community. Let's just say regional, nationally. And I'm so happy to see you today, Josline. But before I introduce this person to give you some information of her credential, for those who are just joining Hustle Skirt Podcast today, maybe for a first time, because you know Josline Frank, and you haven't had a chance to see any other videos. So let me just tell you the mission of Hustle Skirt Podcast. It is to promote, communicate, and amplify the influence of women entrepreneurs like my friend here, Josline Frank, a realtor. And so you're going to learn more and more about her services. I want you to check out, call her, or reach out to her through her website. So Josline, as well as Debra Gould and Associates, we are for-profit businesses. So in my 27 years, I've been blessed to walk the same path, the same faith walk with women like Josline Frank. So I wanted to spotlight her today so she can tell you how it is to be an entrepreneur. Yes, I will interview C-suite as well as higher executive with corporations or nonprofit. But this conversation with Josline, we are for profit. So with that being said, you will hear stories from my interviewing guests. It could be something around pursuing opportunities. Their stories, overcoming challenges and obstacles, their accomplishments, and the work that they do to help raise up young and emerging entrepreneurs in the business community. So I am being very selective in my first round of women that I am picking because they are truly minority business advocates. They have mentored a lot of other folks. They reach back to help others. Josline is that type of individual who is a positive, influential woman in our community. So let me take this opportunity to introduce Josline Frank, MED. She's the co-founder and principal and realtor at World Properties International, Russell Frank Realty Group, LLC. So let's check out that website, www.rafrankrelty.com. That is www.rfrankrealty.com. And I'm going to ask my guests to repeat it when we get to talking to this today. So some information about Josline. She is a 37-year real estate industry veteran, co-owner and principal and realtor consultant of WPI Russell Frank Realty Group, LLC. Josline specializes in all facets of the real estate business, whether it be a navigating way for a first-timer, homeowner, buyers trying to score their perfect distressed property, providing help in the luxury market, commercial acquisition, and property management. This lady is super busy. But before she rises to this occasion, in the real estate industry, Josline received her undergrad degree from Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and master's from Northwestern State University. She devotes her time to family and is an active member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority. By the way, Josline, congratulations of the new 86 Delta
Yes.
girls. That's
Yes.
very impressive for our community.
Absolutely.
Vice President of Greater New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce, New Orleans Metropolitan Association of Realtors, Greater Baton Rouge Area Realtors, LA Real Estate Commission, Pontchartrain Chapter of Link, Inc., past Vice President of the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce, and Secretary to JEDCO. And I'll let her say some more because I don't remember that acronym exactly. I believe it has something to do with Jefferson Parish, but I'll let Josline share that with us. So at this time, I am so excited, Josline, to have you here.
And
I'm
excited.
Busy woman.
Well, Deb, I think, you're a little bit busier than I am. However, we manage to make use of our time. That's what we do. We have time management in place. But I am excited to be here, and I'm just ecstatic and just, happy for you with this adventure that you have taken on, and
I am having
making
so much
sure.
fun.
I know you are. I know you are. And thank you so much for inviting me and all of the other women that you are going to have on your podcast, because not only are you helping us to get the word out there about entrepreneurship, our businesses, and making sure that others know that we're here and they can do the same things that we're doing, because we want them to learn so that they can have theirs as well. And that is your goal. I know that. So I just want to say that I'm a small town girl. I am from New Roads, Louisiana, and never in my life envisioned having the opportunities that God has presented to me. So again, attended Southern University, got my master's from Northwestern. And before I even started in the real estate market, I'm a former 33-year educator. So service has always been a passion of mine, and teaching school to all those young individuals. And even while I was teaching school, I taught marketing and management, entrepreneurship, and home ownership. So I was doing all of that too while working in the business. So once again,
my audience can hear, this is a person for a long, long time, over 37 years. It's been really not only doing her educational thing, making a difference in the young lives of our students. However, she also diversified and did more. So I'm glad you've taken this opportunity to tell us a little bit about Josline.
So that's me in a nutshell, and raising a family, and being a wife, and a homemaker.
Like I said, I'll tell everybody, I'm a type A, but Josline, you keep it going. And you look marvelous, by the way.
Oh, thank
and to
you.
say that we are parents,
yes,
and we're active in our community, is the work that we're doing. And it's like I tell folks all the time, I am a believer of abundance mentality, and I have watched you to be just this advocate for so many people to reach back. No matter whether your education career, your real estate, you find the time to bring up others. So I thank you, and that's why I wanted to spotlight you. But let me just move on to another question here. What was your mission at the start of your company business?
My mission was to promote home ownership within our community. And I'm just going to share this with you, Debra. Back in the 70s, when my husband and I first started looking for our home, it was very difficult to find people who looked like me to represent me in home ownership. And I'm just going to put it out there. The very first agent who we had, they were steering us into communities where, of course, I would enjoy, living in. But it was almost like, no, I'm not going to take you here because I don't think you're going to fit in. And they, or she, should I say, did not provide me with the information that I felt me and my husband needed in order to purchase our first home. So he and I sat down. Absolutely. So he and I sat down and we were like, this is something that we may want to think about doing to help others get into their first home. And not only that, I'm of the mindset just like you. You never put your eggs in one basket. Yes, I was teaching school, and that is, and I'm going to say it, a very low paying job. So we were like, you know what, this could help not only with helping others, but it would help us too with a second income so that we could provide our children an opportunity to have, a better way of life. So that was my goal.
Let me just stop you for a second. We heard how you started, what motivated you to do it, because you want someone to represent that look like you. So walk us through the journey for 37 years, how you have continued to grow your business. As I shared with our audience, how you wanted to help first timers, and then you have expanded your particular services in the real estate industry. Say some more about, maybe let's press forward 10, 20 years down the road. Where are you now in the business?
Well, I can honestly say when Russell and I started off, we had a very dear friend, Mary Carter, who said, listen, when you guys start your business, I'm going to come on with you. Mary has been with us now for the 37 long year journey, as have others. We have approximately 25 agents with our company, and we've grown from 3 to 25. And all of our agents have been very, studious in their journey as well. We work as a family and as a team. And in terms of growth, a lot of our business do come from referral. We solicit, but I prefer the referral piece because that speaks volumes. If you've helped that individual and they feel comfortable enough to refer you to their family member or their friends, that speaks volumes.
So how much of your business is real estate around residential and commercial? When did you get the leap to combine both, or are you just strong in one specific area?
Well, let me say this, that commercial piece is the good old boys club. I'm gonna, put it out there. We be real. I mean, we did not have that that piece of the pie at one time, and more individuals who are of color have evolved into the commercial space. It was just, I'm going to say, fortunate for us that someone entrusted us to give us an opportunity to work with them in the commercial space. And from there, it took off. I love the residential portion of it all because, again, that is and was the mission and still is the mission, the home ownership piece. But being in that commercial space as well is wonderful.
Thank you for sharing that. You really have blessed someone who perhaps could be a first timer looking to buy a home, someone that really want to get into this particular industry. So thank you for sharing that. So I'm going to ask you one more question.
Sure.
Who is your biggest role model?
A lot of our young people look at television, they look at social media, they look to the athletes. But for me, my biggest role model was my father. And as you say, and as you always say, the hustle. I always said my dad was a hustler, and I learned everything from him, Debra. My father not only had his primary job, but he had 5 mouths to feed, and my mother was a homemaker. So not only did he do that, but he was a car salesman. And whenever Governor McKithen needed him to do something for him, he was there. So I watched him, and I watched him in the community. I watched him give back to the Parks and Recreation Service, doing volunteer as well. So my hustle came from my father, who was actually my role model, my biggest cheerleader, and I him. I miss him every day. I miss my mom too, but my dad was my role model.
I was a daddy girl too. And my dad was sort of that role model for me too. But thank you for sharing that. So before we close out,
Mhm.
let me hear from you, your contact information. If someone was watching this video, what would you want them to know about the Russell, the WPI Russell Frank Realty Group LLC? How could they reach you?
Well,
Share that website. Is there a telephone number?
yes.
Social media handles?
Well, for us, calling the office at 504-368-9035. That's the office number, or calling me personally, because I will pick up that phone. And if I can't get with you right then and there, I will get with you within the hour for sure. That number is 504-914-9036. My email address is also a perfect place, and it's flip, F as in fish, L love, IP, like you're flipping a house, 9036 at AOL.com. You can reach me those 3 ways.
And that website?
The website is www.rfrankrealty.com.
Are there any social media places where they
Well, yeah, I much prefer those social medias there. I do advertise on Facebook, a little on Instagram, but I think for me, the personal touch of the phone call, listening to that voice, I'm still very old school, although I am social media.
You and I are in that generation of baby boomers. Call me.
Call me, call me. I will answer you. Call me. I promise you. I will answer you.
So I'm going to ask you one other quick question before we
Yes.
wrap this up. If I were to ask you to give me one word to describe equity, because what we're doing today, Josline, as I said earlier, is about economic equity for everyone every day. I believe that part of the Hustle Skirt podcast, not only to spotlight, but I want to introduce to the world these phenomenal entrepreneurs who are making a difference every day. And I'm hoping that from this interview, you will get that individual personalized phone call or someone go to your website. So that's what, to me, it's making a difference to reach out to someone to empower you to say more money, more people calling. I'm a first-time homeowner, and I just happened to see this particular interview on Instagram, Facebook, business, or Twitter. And I'm hoping that Josline will say, Debra, my phone has been ringing. That is a way of equity. But if you can give me one word from you that you would describe equity.
Well, one word. I would say education.
And I have a feeling that that's precisely what you and your husband is doing in the business, along with your staff. And you've been blessed to have the same team members for many, many years.
Yes.
And that's a good thing, and they feel like family. So we're going to close up our interview today. I would like to just share some closing remarks. And you know, I love you, and you know, I appreciate the value of your time today. But as I close out for my listening audience, the Hustle Skirt podcast objective is to empower you to speak power, just like you heard Josline Frank share just now, to embrace change in your own vision, mission, and purpose. Get fired up. Didn't you notice how turbocharged Josline was when she talked about her education, her father being her role model, that he was a hustler? So it's in her, and that's what she put out in the universe. And she does it with passion. Also, make sure to visit our website where you can find this interview with Josline today at www.persistentlane.com, where you can subscribe to the Hustle Skirt podcast, and you will find even more ways, 9 other ways to watch this interview with Josline and Frank today, whether it's iTunes, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, just to name a few of the 9 platforms. And then you can follow her on my website as well as the YouTube when you go to www.persistentlane.com. Now, while you edit, if you found this interview with Josline on this podcast today of value, we would appreciate a rating on iTunes, or just tell a friend, your neighbor, or your network to go check out this interview with Josline Frank at www.persistentlane.com. You're listening to the Hustle Skirt Podcast.
The Hustle Skirt Podcast.
Economic everyone every day with your host, Debra Gould. Josline, I love you.
Love you too. No, thank you.
Great weekend.
Heart, heart, heart. Love you. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to you, my friend. Take care.
Bye now.
Keep soaring like the eagle that you are, Josline. Bye-bye.
Bye.